15 Gospel Legends Who Died of AIDS. What if the gospel legends who shaped our faith and music had to fight their battles in silence? Many of the greatest voices in black gospel music tragically lost their lives to AIDS, their struggles hidden behind a veil of stigma and secrecy. Thomas Whitfield, Keith Pringle, and other iconic figures faced a devastating epidemic that took them far too soon. But their legacy lives on. How do we break the silence and honor their courage? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence for more stories that matter. Thomas Whitfield. Thomas Whitfield, born in 1954, was a monumental figure in the world of gospel music. Renowned for his innovative contributions, Whitfield revolutionized contemporary gospel by blending traditional sounds with modern, orchestral arrangements. His unique ability to fuse complex harmonies with the rich textures of gospel music earned him the title of maestro within the genre. A gifted composer, pianist, and producer, Whitfield formed the Thomas Whitfield Company, which became a significant platform for his groundbreaking sound. Whitfield's music, particularly songs like I Shall Wear a Crown and We Need a Word from the Lord, became anthems in gospel music, deeply resonating with churchgoers and gospel lovers alike. His works were not only spiritually uplifting but also introduced a new wave of gospel music that appealed to contemporary tastes, bridging the gap between traditional and modern audiences. Tragically, Whitfield's promising career was cut short when he passed away in 1992 at the age of 38. Initially, his cause of death was not disclosed, and it was only after his passing that it was revealed he succumbed to complications related to AIDS. This revelation was especially significant within the Black church community, where stigma and silence surrounding HIV/AIDS were prevalent at the time. Whitfield's death highlighted the importance of addressing the AIDS epidemic openly, a conversation that had long been avoided within many religious circles. Despite his death, Whitfield's legacy as a trailblazer in gospel music endures. His timeless compositions continue to be sung in churches and gospel choirs worldwide, ensuring that his contributions to the genre will never be forgotten. Through his music, Whitfield's voice continues to inspire new generations, and his life serves as a powerful reminder of the need for compassion and understanding in the face of HIV/AIDS. Ron Winans. Ron Winans, born in 1956, was a beloved member of the influential Winans family, a group that played a pivotal role in shaping contemporary gospel music. While his siblings, BB, Cece, Marvin, and Carvin, received widespread recognition, Ron's smooth baritone voice and heartfelt performances earned him a dedicated fan base. He was a member of the Winans, the family group that bridged traditional gospel with contemporary R&B and helped bring gospel music into mainstream consciousness during the 1980s and 1990s. Ron's contribution to the group's success cannot be understated, as his vocals were a cornerstone of their sound. Ron Winans was also a songwriter and producer, contributing to the family's musical legacy both on stage and behind the scenes. His work helped to redefine gospel music by incorporating elements of R&B and pop into traditional gospel structures, making the genre more accessible to a wider audience. Songs like The Question Is and I Shall Be Released are iconic examples of his musical influence. Tragically, Ron's life was cut short when he passed away in 2005 at the age of 48. While his death was initially shrouded in privacy, it was later revealed that he succumbed to AIDS-related complications. His passing shocked the gospel community, as discussions around HIV/AIDS in the church at the time were largely avoided, especially within the Black community. Ron's death brought attention to the silence surrounding the epidemic in gospel music and highlighted the need for compassion and openness when addressing such issues. Despite his untimely death, Ron Winans' music continues to live on, and his place within the Winans family legacy remains significant. Darrell Coley. Darrell Coley, born in 1955, was a notable figure in the gospel music world known for his powerful vocal range and his emotive, soulful performances. Throughout his career, Coley helped shape contemporary gospel music, blending it with elements of jazz, R&B, and classical influences. His vocal talent earned him the nickname, the Master's Vocalist, because of his ability to deliver songs with both precision and raw emotion, capturing the essence of gospel music's spiritual depth. Coley's breakthrough in the gospel industry came during the 1980s and 1990s when he released influential albums like He's Right on Time and When the Music Stops. These albums showcased his unique voice and solidified his position in the gospel music scene. His ability to blend traditional gospel with contemporary sounds made his music resonate with a diverse audience, from traditional churchgoers to younger listeners. What set Coley apart from many of his contemporaries was his openness about his own HIV diagnosis. In an era when the gospel community was largely silent about HIV and AIDS, Coley became a vocal advocate for AIDS awareness. He spoke candidly about his diagnosis, emphasizing the importance of compassion, education, and understanding in addressing the epidemic. This was a groundbreaking move, as most gospel artists at the time kept their diagnoses hidden due to the stigma surrounding the disease. Coley's public stance on HIV/AIDS advocacy made him a trailblazer within the gospel community, challenging misconceptions and encouraging others to address the crisis with empathy. While Coley passed away in 2016, his impact on the gospel genre and his courageous efforts to speak out about HIV/AIDS remain an important part of his legacy. His music continues to inspire listeners today, and his advocacy work has contributed to more open and compassionate conversations surrounding HIV within the gospel and church communities. Sherman Hemsley. Sherman Hemsley, born in 1938, is best remembered for his iconic portrayal of George Jefferson on the groundbreaking sitcom The Jeffersons, which ran from 1975 to 1985. Hemsley's role as the loud, proud, and often sarcastic businessman made him one of television's most beloved characters, and his performance in this role earned him widespread recognition and admiration. Beyond his work as an actor, Hemsley was also a singer, with an interest in gospel music later in life. He recorded a gospel album in 2011 titled Ain't That a Kick in the Head, which showcased his deep, soulful voice and reflected his personal journey. Hemsley's personal life was just as complex as his character on television. He was known for being one of the first openly gay black actors in Hollywood during a time when few celebrities, especially those associated with family-friendly entertainment, were publicly out. His decision to live authentically, though not without challenges, made him an important figure in both the entertainment industry and the LGBTQ+ community. Sherman Hemsley passed away in 2012 at the age of 74 due to lung cancer. Although his official cause of death was cancer, rumors circulated about his possible HIV status, largely due to the stigma surrounding AIDS in both Hollywood and the gospel music community at the time. These rumors highlight the ongoing challenges of discussing HIV openly, especially within marginalized communities. Regardless, Hemsley's contributions to entertainment, both in comedy and music, continue to inspire, and his unique role in breaking barriers for gay black actors in Hollywood remains an important part of his legacy. Tyrone Davis. Tyrone Davis, born in 1938 in Greenville, Mississippi, was an R&B legend who later made a remarkable transition to gospel music. Known for his velvety baritone voice, Davis became a staple of the Chicago soul scene in the 1960s and 1970s, producing classics like Turn Back the Hands of Time and Can I Change My Mind. These songs cemented his place as one of the most beloved figures in R&B, with his smooth sound touching the hearts of listeners across the world. As Davis's health began to decline in the early 2000s, he shifted his focus to gospel music, releasing the album The Gospel Soul of Tyrone Davis in 2003. The album marked a reflective and spiritual turn in his career, with Davis offering his rich voice to more uplifting, faith-based themes. The project resonated with audiences who had followed his career in R&B, providing a new dimension to his artistry and solidifying his place in both gospel and soul music. Though Davis's death in 2005 at the age of 66 was primarily attributed to a stroke, close associates later revealed that he had been living with AIDS. However, the exact impact of AIDS on his health was not widely discussed at the time. His journey from soul music to gospel represented a personal and artistic transformation, offering listeners a powerful narrative of redemption and faith in his later years. Tyrone Davis's contributions to both the secular and gospel music genres remain significant, and his ability to reinvent himself in the face of personal challenges speaks to his resilience and lasting impact on music history. Willie Mayford Smith. Willie Mae Ford Smith, born in 1904, was a pioneering figure in gospel music whose influence reached generations of singers and choir directors. As one of the founding members of the National Convention of Gospel Choirs and Choruses, Smith played a crucial role in shaping the sound of traditional gospel music in the 20th century. Known for her deep, resonant contralto voice, Smith was a mentor to many of the genre's greatest artists, including Mahalia Jackson, who referred to Smith as a guiding force in her own development as a gospel singer. Smith's career spanned several decades, and she was deeply involved in the spiritual and cultural growth of gospel music, helping to solidify its place as a prominent force within the African American community. She was instrumental in organizing gospel music conventions and fostering collaboration among gospel artists. Her contributions to the genre extended beyond her vocal ability. She was a key figure in promoting gospel music within both religious and secular spaces. While Smith passed away in 1994 at the age of 89, her legacy lives on through her work as an educator and mentor. However, it's important to note that her family, like many African American families, was deeply affected by the AIDS epidemic. Several of Smith's descendants, including grandchildren, died from AIDS-related illnesses in the 1980s and 1990s. Though Smith herself did not succumb to the disease, the epidemic's toll on her family and the broader gospel community highlighted the silent crisis that many were forced to endure in the midst of stigma and secrecy. Willie Mae Ford Smith's story is one of leadership, mentorship, and the enduring power of gospel music. Andraé Crouch. Andraé Crouch, born in 1942 in Los Angeles, California, is widely considered the father of modern gospel music. His revolutionary blend of traditional gospel with contemporary sounds reshaped the genre and brought it into the mainstream. Crouch was known for his innovative use of orchestration, jazz, and pop influences in his gospel compositions, creating a new sound that resonated with both churchgoers and secular audiences. His songs like The Blood Will Never Lose Its Power and My Tribute became gospel standards, and he won multiple Grammy Awards throughout his illustrious career. In addition to his songwriting and performing, Crouch was a highly sought-after producer and arranger, working with artists such as Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, and Diana Ross. His work in both the gospel and secular music worlds allowed him to bridge the gap between these two often disparate musical realms, bringing gospel to new and diverse audiences. In his later years, Crouch became increasingly open about his battle with HIV, publicly disclosing his diagnosis at a time when AIDS was still heavily stigmatized within the church community. His decision to speak openly about his health struggles was a groundbreaking act of bravery in the gospel world, where the disease was often shrouded in silence and shame. Crouch passed away in 2015 at the age of 72 from a heart attack, but his legacy as both a gospel innovator and an advocate for AIDS awareness remains intact. His willingness to confront the epidemic within the context of faith and music helped destigmatize the conversation surrounding HIV and encouraged greater compassion and openness within the gospel community. Crouch's life serves as a testament to the power of music, faith, and resilience in the face of adversity. Reverend Dr. William H. Gray III. Reverend Dr. William H. Gray III, born in 1941, was a prominent civil rights leader, former U.S. Congressman, and influential Baptist minister. He made history as the first African American to chair the House Budget Committee and later served as the Democratic whip in the U.S. House of Representatives. Gray's tenure in Congress was marked by his fierce advocacy for education, economic equality, and civil rights. He played a key role in the fight against apartheid in South Africa and was deeply involved in efforts to promote justice and human rights around the world. Beyond his political career, Reverend Gray was a dedicated pastor. He led the Bright Hope Baptist Church in Philadelphia for over 3 decades, serving as a spiritual leader to thousands of congregants. Gray's work bridged the worlds of politics and religion, earning him the respect of both political leaders and faith communities. Reverend Gray passed away on July 1, 2013, at the age of 71, after battling complications related to AIDS. His death came as a surprise to many, as he had kept his diagnosis private, a common practice at the time due to the stigma surrounding the disease. The revelation that Gray had died from AIDS-related complications reignited important conversations about HIV and AIDS, particularly within the African American church community, where silence and shame often overshadowed such discussions. While some criticized his secrecy, others respected his right to privacy. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding his death, Gray's legacy as a champion of justice, equality, and faith remains strong. He is remembered not just for the way he died but for the way he lived, dedicated to uplifting others and fighting for a more just society. Billy Preston. Billy Preston, born in 1946 in Houston, Texas, was a legendary musician known for his virtuosic keyboard playing and his ability to blend gospel, R&B, and rock music. Often referred to as the Fifth Beatle, due to his contributions to the Beatles' later albums, Preston was an exceptional talent who made a lasting impact on the music world. He was a child prodigy who began playing organ for Mahalia Jackson at just 10 years old, marking the beginning of a storied career in both gospel and secular music. Preston's keyboard work graced the recordings of some of the greatest names in music, including the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Aretha Franklin. His distinctive Hammond B3 organ playing can be heard on iconic tracks like Something by the Beatles and You Are So Beautiful by Joe Cocker. Throughout his career, he continued to blend his gospel roots with secular music, creating a unique sound that appealed to a wide range of listeners. In the final years of his life, Preston's health began to decline due to chronic kidney failure and other complications. He passed away in 2006 at the age of 59. It was later revealed that AIDS-related complications were a contributing factor to his death, though he had kept his diagnosis private during his lifetime. His passing highlighted the silent toll AIDS had taken on many musicians, even those who were revered as icons. Despite his personal struggles, Preston's legacy as a talented musician and his ability to bridge the worlds of gospel and rock music continue to inspire new generations of artists. His contributions to music remain timeless, and his story serves as a reminder of the power of music to transcend boundaries and touch lives across genres and generations. Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy Pendergrass, born in 1950 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was one of the most influential soul singers of his generation. Known for his velvet baritone voice, Pendergrass first rose to fame as the lead singer of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, delivering hits like If You Don't Know Me by Now and Wake Up Everybody. His powerful performances and distinctive voice earned him the title of one of R&B's premier male vocalists. His success in the 1970s paved the way for his solo career, where he became one of the first black male sex symbols in music, releasing hits such as Close the Door and Turn Off the Lights that solidified his place in the annals of R&B. However, Pendergrass's life took a tragic turn in 1982 when he was paralyzed from the waist down due to a car accident. Despite this devastating setback, he made a remarkable return to music, continuing to release albums and performing for his devoted fans. His resilience in the face of such a life-altering event inspired millions. In his later years, Pendergrass turned to gospel music, recording his 1998 album Truly Blessed, which reflected his spiritual journey. Unfortunately, Pendergrass's health continued to deteriorate due to complications from AIDS, which he contracted through a blood transfusion during a previous surgery. He passed away in 2010 at the age of 59 due to respiratory failure. While Pendergrass's battle with AIDS was not widely discussed during his lifetime, his death brought renewed attention to the HIV/AIDS epidemic and its impact on diverse communities, including those in the music industry. Pendergrass's legacy, defined by his incredible voice, his courage in the face of adversity, and his contributions to R&B and gospel, continues to inspire both fans and artists worldwide. Walter Hawkins. Walter Hawkins, born in 1949 in Oakland, California, was a Grammy-winning gospel legend whose music transformed contemporary gospel. As a leader of the Love Center Church and founder of the famous Love Alive Choir, Hawkins was instrumental in shaping the modern gospel sound by blending traditional gospel with elements of R&B and contemporary music. His hit song Going Up Yonder became an anthem in black churches and remains one of the most recognizable songs in gospel music history. His innovative approach to gospel music introduced new styles and arrangements that appealed to a broad audience, helping to popularize gospel music outside the church setting. Hawkins was also a mentor and a spiritual guide, nurturing the careers of many gospel artists and shaping the gospel music landscape. His ability to combine heartfelt lyrics with intricate melodies brought a fresh sound to the genre and created a lasting impact. Alongside his brother Edwin Hawkins, Walter helped form what is often considered gospel music's royal family, a group that influenced countless artists who followed in their footsteps. In 2010, Hawkins passed away at the age of 61 from pancreatic cancer. His death was a devastating loss to the gospel music community, but his impact lives on through his timeless compositions and his pioneering contributions to contemporary gospel. In the years following his passing, his brother Edwin Hawkins revealed that several artists and choir members in their circle had quietly died from AIDS-related complications during the height of the epidemic in the 1980s and 1990s. This revelation highlighted the silent toll that AIDS took on the gospel community, with many of these losses remaining unspoken due to stigma and secrecy within the church. Walter Hawkins' legacy remains strong, as his music continues to uplift and inspire worshipers worldwide. His life's work is a testament to the power of faith, music, and resilience. Reverend James Cleveland. Reverend James Cleveland, born in 1931 in Chicago, Illinois, was a legendary figure in gospel music and is often referred to as the King of Gospel. As a singer, pianist, composer, and choir director, Cleveland revolutionized gospel music by blending traditional gospel with elements of jazz, blues, and secular music. His powerful voice and innovative arrangements elevated the genre and brought it to new audiences. He founded the Gospel Music Workshop of America, GMWA, an organization that has supported and nurtured countless gospel artists and choirs. Cleveland's most famous compositions, such as Peace Be Still and Lord, Help Me to Hold Out, became staples in the gospel repertoire. Though Cleveland's career was marked by great success, his final years were clouded by speculation and rumors regarding his health. Cleveland passed away in 1991 at the age of 59, and the official cause of death was recorded as heart failure. However, rumors about his potential death from AIDS-related complications circulated widely within the gospel community, though these claims were never substantiated. The silence surrounding Cleveland's death reflected the larger issue of AIDS stigma within the church and gospel music community, where HIV and AIDS were often kept hidden. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding his passing, Cleveland's musical legacy is undeniable. He was one of the first gospel artists to perform in secular venues, bringing gospel music to broader, more diverse audiences. His contributions to the genre are immeasurable, and his influence continues to shape gospel music today. Reverend James Cleveland is remembered as a trailblazer whose impact on gospel music and the church remains profound. Dr. Donald Curlin. Dr. Donald Curlin was a respected minister and a key figure within the church community, known not only for his spiritual leadership but also for his support of others in the ministry. Born in 1960, Dr. Curlin was a passionate advocate for faith and service. He was married to Pastor Tamara Bennett and was the first husband to her ministry work. Throughout his life, Dr. Curlin remained a steadfast believer, dedicating much of his time to both spiritual growth and assisting others in their own faith journeys. Dr. Curlin's life took a tragic turn when he was diagnosed with AIDS in the late 1990s. At the time, HIV and AIDS were still highly stigmatized within the church community, leading Dr. Curlin and his family to keep his diagnosis private. It wasn't until after his death in 2000, at the age of 40, that Pastor Bennett shared their story publicly. Dr. Curlin's struggle with AIDS was kept hidden due to the societal pressures and stigma attached to the disease, especially in the religious community. His death brought attention to the intersection of faith and the HIV/AIDS crisis, highlighting the difficulties faced by individuals who were forced to conceal their health status for fear of judgment. Despite the secrecy surrounding his illness, Dr. Curlin's story serves as an important reminder of the need for greater understanding, compassion, and openness within faith communities regarding HIV and AIDS. His life and his death shed light on the struggles faced by those affected by the epidemic, particularly within the church. Pastor Tamara Bennett's decision to share their journey has contributed to the larger conversation about HIV/AIDS awareness and support within religious spaces. The impact of HIV/AIDS on the gospel community is a powerful, often overlooked chapter in the history of black music. Gospel legends like Thomas Whitfield, Keith Pringle, and Andre Crouch not only shaped the genre but also faced the devastating effects of the epidemic, hidden behind silence and stigma. Their stories remind us of the importance of compassion, awareness, and openness when addressing health crises. How can we, as a community, continue to honor these artists while breaking the silence around such important issues? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence for more inspiring stories.